100 years ago, the only way that anybody could have over 10,000 concurrent viewers was if they were some sort of public speaker or politician. Now, just about anybody with a camera, a microphone, and a good personality can get up to 10,000 concurrent viewers if they put in the time and the effort, which is exactly what's happening now all over Twitch and YouTube. The real issue is that 100 years ago, if you were to speak to 10,000 people at the same time, you would see them. You would see their facial expressions, their emotions, if they laugh, if they cheer you on, how they react to what you're saying. You're looking at real life human beings, warm-blooded, breathing human beings. But now the lens is one-sided. The disconnection between the speaker and the viewer is immense. The only thing that we can see as a streamer, as a content creator, is a number. Interacting with our audience, instead of seeing their natural reactions and seeing how they smile or how they frown as we speak, all we see is a text file on our computer screen. So for having the most social job in the world, where you're speaking to hundreds of thousands of people every single week from the comfort of your bedroom, from the naked eye, you're really alone. As a live streamer, when the only connection that you have with your audience is a chat box and a red digit, it's really easy to forget that behind every single one of those numbers is a warm-blooded human being. We look at them as just a number because that's all we're shown, just literally a number, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, but we forget that there's 10,000 human beings that have dreams, that have desires, that have family problems at home, that wake up and eat and sleep the same way that we do, that are watching you live right now. It's very easy to feel disconnected between you and your viewer. Even though there's that bond, it's a parasocial bond. It's very one-sided. The camera is pointing at you. The camera is not turned back around to see who's watching you on the other end. You can't hear them. You don't feel their presence. You can't see them at all. So they only know you, which makes your relationships an illusion. Because even though you seem to have the most social job, you're very lonely, especially for streamers that are live for 8 to 11 hours a day, which is very common amongst people that want to really grow hard on Twitch. The relationship between you and human beings at this point isn't entirely real, because the only thing that you're reacting for 80% of your day before you go back to bed is a string of text on a screen. It's just a line of HTML on a screen. That's literally all you're interacting with as a human being. If you were to call in your grandma to come watch you live stream for 8 hours, she would start praying for you, because to somebody that doesn't know how the internet works, you're literally talking to nobody. You're looking at a piece of metal, at a piece of glass, a lens, and speaking to it. Or you're reacting and talking to what seems like nobody, because at face value, if you look at this in a black and white fashion, there's nobody around you. You're talking to no one. You're literally alone. And if you stream every single day for 8, 11 hours a day, and all of your human social interaction is to a piece of code on a website, after you go live, after you press on end stream, you sometimes feel more alone than before you even started.
After you hit that offline button, it's you just sitting there alone for the night, or just not doing anything day after day. No one's hitting you up to go out, no one is doing anything, that.
Spending 10 hours a day live, it's really hard to make friends. It's really hard to build and keep strong relationships that would give you the real human interaction that you need throughout your day. I don't think our brains are designed for this. I don't think it's natural for a human being to be talking to a lens for the better part of their day and not seeing or speaking to a real human being. That's why people like Dr. K have built a name for themselves. He gives psychological help to streamers because there's such a deep need for it, because of how unnatural their job is. And he literally talks to streamers and tries to get to the root of their problems on stream. And give them help. And a lot of streamers actually have gone on his show. A lot of streamers seem to need what he's providing. It's this underground issue that nobody really sees, because from the viewer side, it looks like it's fine. It looks like it's normal. I'm just watching somebody make a video. But you never see the other side of that camera. You never see what it's really like to be in your bedroom streaming every single day. It might seem great, it might seem awesome, but for 8 to 10 hours a day, there's no way that you can stay entertaining for that long. There's no way that you can stay in an upbeat, happy mood all day long. It comes to a point where you start to have to act, because if you don't, nobody wants to watch a sad or depressed streamer. Nobody wants to watch you if you're not having a good day. Everybody wants to see you at your highest. I mean, even from the viewer side, why would you go watch a streamer that's just sitting there, that doesn't look happy? That's not a fun stream to watch, right? That's not content. But the reality of it is, that's how human beings work. We have mood swings. We have different feels of emotions throughout the week or throughout the month. We're not going to constantly be in this energetic, happy content creation mood. We're human beings. and especially for the guys that stream all day long, there's no way that you're excited or pumped up or even entertaining for an entire day every single day. I don't understand how that's even possible. On top of that, since being a streamer is so looked up upon by everybody, especially kids, if you ask kids, their answers won't vary on what they want to be when they grow up. Back in the day, it used to be a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, or even a policeman, but now it's a streamer or a YouTuber. It's either or. The answers are not going to be too different when you ask kids that, because this is what they look up to. This is what they watch. They think this is the greatest thing that anybody could ever do. This is the greatest job anybody could ever have. You have to strike gold to be a streamer. It's awesome, right? But that's because they're watching it from their screen. They're never seeing it from within the real bedroom of the streamer or the real room. They're literally only seeing it from the one-sided version of their phone screen. This is why so many people say, I want to be a YouTuber or I want to be a streamer. They start for 1 week and they say, holy shit, this is not what I expected. And then they quit. This happens to everybody. I know countless people that still tell me till this day, I want to start a channel, and they start it or they make one video and they quit right away because it's not what they expect. When you're watching the video, it's an entirely different realm between you watching and you creating the video. It's not what you think it would be. There's these curtains that have been pulled back on you the same second that you pick up this camera, and you're like, holy shit, I did not expect it to be like this. And since being a streamer is looked up by everybody as the greatest job in the world, they usually don't give you room to grief. They don't give you room to be human, because why would you complain, bro? You're a streamer. You make a lot of money. You have a lot of fans around the world. You're famous. You're a celebrity technically. Why are you complaining? We don't want to hear you be sad. People have it way, way worse than you.
If you're successful and have money, then you don't have a right to cry about how you feel, because you're better than 99%. You know, you're better off. And the 99% that don't have money, that think money solves everything, would trade all of their troubles to just have money, right? But they don't realize once they get it, they'll realize that, you know, there's no amount of money that would ever solve or fix the troubles within. That's what people latch onto, right? Oh, the big old, you know, streamer that's living in the 1%, he's sad, oh, big deal.
Buddha says life is suffering. Everybody is going to feel grief. Everybody, no matter who you are, which family you're born into, or where you live, everybody, everywhere, every human being that has a beating heart is going to feel suffering, or they're going to feel grief of some sort. That's just a part of life. You can't live and be happy from the moment that you're born to the moment that you're gone. You're eventually going to feel some sort of hardship. That's just a part of life. You can't feel happy if you never feel sad, because with the law of polarity, one cannot exist without the other. Now, when you're a streamer, people look at you like you're at the top of the world. Oh, you make so much money, bro. Do you see how many subs this guy got? This guy gets so much donations. But they don't realize that that stuff is not going to bring you permanent happiness. That stuff is not going to bring you true joy. Getting an extra viewer on your stream or getting an extra couple thousand views on YouTube is not going to change who you are. It's not going to change the happiness from within yourself. These things are all external. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is great to have supporters, and it's beautiful. It's awesome to have people that are on the same page as you. But happiness comes from within yourself. It's not an external thing. So when people hold your happiness to what you have externally, by how much money you make, by how many viewers you have on your live streams, by how successful you are, by how wealthy you are, that's not going to ever bring you happiness. You can be the king or the queen of a country, and you're still going to be as depressed as the person that's just working a regular 9-to-5 job. These external things don't bring you true fulfillment, if that makes sense. Along with broadcasting yourself to thousands of people, you have to remember that there are a lot of things that you can't show on stream and a lot of things that you can't say. These things are subconscious in your mind. Before you speak as a streamer, I'm going to say this for all streamers, all video creators, everybody online. When you talk, you have to think 3 times before you talk. Can I say this? Will this offend anybody? And what will happen as repercussion if I do say this? And living in that mental state where you have to think so deeply about every single word that you say, you have to over-articulate every single word that comes out of your mouth, it gets really, really taxing on your mind. It gets really, really stressful because, oh, God forbid I give my opinion on something and someone gets offended. But the issue is, like Jordan Peterson said,
in order to be able to think, you have to risk being offensive.
So you technically can't think, you can't express your individuality unless you're offending somebody, because everybody's going to have different opinions on everything. And if you can express who you truly are to your stream or to your camera, and you have to always be walking on eggshells every time that you press go live, it's literally stripping you out of you. Because if you stream or make videos every single day, and you have to be this person that's completely neutral on every single topic. You're literally nobody at this point. You're just a regular person that's right in the middle of everything. There's no individuality to you. There's no personality to you anymore. And that's a problem among streamers that zero people talk about because they don't want to get too political into this, but I frankly don't give a when you're streaming, you're always worried, okay, I can't say these words because this person might get mad. I have to block out my stream so I can view every single link so I can make sure that I don't accidentally show something that's against TOS, because if I do, I can't go back in time. My channel, my career, my stream, my YouTube channel is over because I accidentally clicked on a link that showed someone that was naked on my stream, and now people saw it and now I'm going to get reported and banned. Having that running through your mind every single day, that you have to be extra cautious about what you show and what you say, is a horrible way to live. But on the bright side of all of this, there's never been a time in history where anybody can pick up a camera, a microphone, grab some lights, and speak to the world. To anybody that's willing to listen. They can share their opinions, they can share how they feel, they can talk about anything. They can make a career literally about anything. As long as they're deeply passionate about it, people will join, people will watch, people will give them the love and support that they need to make this a career for themselves. People can truly follow their passion. Even though it does have these drawbacks that I mentioned in this video, they might even end up weighing each other out, because this is the first time ever where you can truly express yourself and do what you love. Play video games for a living. Just imagine telling that to somebody 50 years ago. They would spit in your face and laugh at you. There's no chance, but now I guess that's just how we live. Thank you for watching this video. Stay dreaming, stay lucid. I'm out. Peace.